If you want to get into the UFC and this is where you want to be, act like Joe Pyfer, okay? Be Joe Pyfer. Be excited to be here. Be fired up to fight. Try to finish the fight. Try to win. Be Joe Pyfer and you will get into the UFC.
This UFC fighter is way stronger than Francis Ngannou, and here's the proof.
You really did break Francis Ngannou's punch record.
Yeah, so I don't know what the confusion is.
Joey doesn't know what confusion is, but he knows what's self-esteem, and I like it.
I don't want people to think that I'm cocky or arrogant, but I am. I am cocky, I'm confident, you know?
Joey Pyfer is obviously not as big as Francis Ngannou, but don't underestimate him and his technique. Now, look at the evidence. It looks like Joey Rogan likes this type of competition because he knows all the numbers.
You went to 170.
Yeah,
So,
let's see
170.
One. So you got Eddie Hall.
So he got 113.
Just for your info, Eddie Hall is the strongest man on the planet and weighs above 300 pounds.
And Francis had gotten 129.
We're trying to break Ngannou's record right now.
I had already hit 4 times.
170.
Now, the only thing so this is the thing that people don't understand, though, is it's the same machine. I think everybody thought it was like one of those punching bags that are down at the boardwalk.
Right.
And, you know, it's aggravating because I pride myself in my power. I want to hurt you. You know what I mean? Like, that's my intention. I'm trying to. I mean, we all throw with power, right? But
yeah.
I feel like I have a little different intention sometimes. So, you know, I've always prided myself in hitting hard. I've always felt like I hit harder than everybody.
27 years old, he has huge potential and in the future will generate you a ton of money. You have to invest care of him.
Joe Pyfer spoke very highly of you and said that you'd got him a house and you'd given him some money outside the Contender Series. I'm curious why you did that and what exactly is it about Joe Pyfer that you like so much and wanted to help out?
I do a lot of things for a lot of people that I don't necessarily talk about. Joe Pyfer, when I left the press conference that night, he told me that he was about to be homeless. So that ain't gonna happen.
Comparison between Joey and Francis Ngannou. Joey is for sure stronger, we can see it on this test, but still.
Now, sure, I'm sure Francis's punch feels different than mine, but I got speed, I got power, and I walk at like 220 when I'm at a camp. So I'm not a small guy, you know what I mean? I'm 6'2", 220 when I'm hitting that. And even then, I was probably light because I was injured. So I was probably about 212, 214 when I hit that.
So for our comparison, who runs from the UFC to fight Anthony Joshua and made money, stands 6'4", weighs around 260 pounds, and our Joey stands 6'2" and weighs around 220 pounds, but fights in 185, which is tremendous difference.
Just to put it up, I'm gonna post it whenever I get back home, and I'm gonna post a video, and I'm gonna post the picture also of me hitting higher than that at 181. I only have the picture, but Tuco, who's Brendan Allen's coach, was there.
I'm so sorry, I don't want to disrespect our champ, but I haven't found the video nor the picture, so it's hard to say if he truly hit that 180 mark. But if you find it on the internet, please tell me in the comments, I would like to see, because it's truly a horsepower.
I think someone has kicked it up to like 187. I think that's the newest high kick, which is crazy.
Kick, yeah.
Yeah, that your punch is that close to a kick.
Yeah.
That's pretty nuts.
Now, I get it. It's a standstill object, right?
Lorenz Larkin. That's Lorenz Larkin. Yeah, I think he's got the record now. Lorenz, who used to fight in the UFC, now I guess he's with the PFL now, right? Because
I thought he was Bellator. Oh yeah,
well, Bellator is the PFL now.
Well, if you want a video about Bellator becoming PFL and Jakepaul and Francis Ngannou and other superstars being in PFL, tell me in the comments, I will make it, and I bet you it will be a great video.
Yeah, but Lorenz got 189. Oh, Jesus, he got 235? Wow. Lorenz can fucking kick hard.
Yeah.
That's a super underrated dude. I always go to his fight with Neil Magny. Go watch that fight. Jesus.
I would love to see
dude
Diego
can
Lima.
Strike. Oh, yeah. He's another one. Yeah.
Jose.
There's probably quite a few guys that can kick like that. But Lorenz, like, if you watch him, that technique is just perfect. He's perfect. The way he switches his hips, The way he turns his body into it is just maximizing it.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know?
it's really, I mean, some people, it's weird, you know, for me because a lot of people think I have natural power, and I get annoyed with it because I've never had anything natural in my life. You know, everything was difficult. Learning jiu-jitsu, learning how to box, you know, everything was hard for me to learn. So I have a bitter chip on my shoulder when people are like trying to discredit it with natural power.
Well,
I don't know.
Joey mentioned a great point. It's not mainly about natural power or some muscles. It's mainly and mostly about technique. Technique is 90% of all of the shots you throw.
There is a thing though where there's like you could unlock horsepower in a human being, but you only have so much when it comes to power. There's certain people, and I think we've all seen them. They just don't hit hard for whatever reason, and they look big. They can look strong, and then there's certain guys that for whatever reason they fucking hit crazy hard, and they're not that big. And a lot of it is efficiency and fluidity and the technique and the leverage, and that's all learned, right? But there's like a certain thing to like bone structure and just natural power.
My bones got to be trash, Joe, because I'm fucking having 2 surgeries and
I just
being
think
beat
it's the
up.
amount of power that you generate. I mean, it's probably a lot of it too.
It's
you know?
probably a corny thing to say, but I was told that I almost generate too much force for my bone density to handle. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if they were just
Kinda
kind of
makes
stroking
sense.
my ego.
Well,
But
it makes sense. That's why your hands break. When people's hands break, that's why they break, because you're literally generating too much force for your bone structure.
yeah.
That's the first option. Not much realistic. In the real world, you are a piece of shit, drunk after a party, you try to act like Conor McGregor and break your fucking arm. Because you have no clue about any technique.
Dude, when you fought Razak Al Hassan, you are on. There's a thing that happens with fighters where you see them, you see anxiety, you see first fight, you see nerves, you see jitters, you see skills, but it's hard to like see the full range of them. And then they start getting comfortable. And when they start getting comfortable, like the Mearshart fight, you just stomped him.
Yeah.
But the Razak Al Hassan fight, like, dude, you were on another level. Like, that's like, when people talk about a guy in the gym, like, dude, you got to see this motherfucker in the gym. And then seeing that manifest itself inside the octagon, to me, that's one of my favorite things to see. I love watching guys show their potential. You know, and in that fight, Razak Al Hassan is a beast.
Yeah, he's a dog.
He's a dangerous dude. And you just put on a fucking show in that fight. You looked like you were on a completely different level. Like you had gone up several rungs from where you were before.
You know what's crazy about it, though? The whole process of what's gotten me to that point has been nothing shy of just, man, if I'm mentally happy, I'm going to destroy everybody. But I often struggle mentally, you know, like I didn't turn it on. My coaches were all scared in the back just because they know me so well. I'm an emotional dude. I wear my heart on my sleeve. Like I say how I feel. You don't really have to read the room. You can read my face. You know what I mean? You understand where I'm at. And I'm not shy to say where I'm at. So that whole week was off. Sean wasn't in the corner. He got sick. I had some issues with a best friend, and I've known for 12, 13 years. He didn't get to come out, and just everything was like off. I had MRSA on my bicep, on my forearm 2 weeks before.
Oh shit!
I had antibiotics. Before that, I split my toes open where they separated, so the bone. So I could barely, I got all swollen, bro. I've never had an easy camp, and I was having nightmares for the first time of getting knocked the fuck out all week. During my weight cut, during training, I had these crazy nerves. I would get cold sweats. I thought something was wrong. And I never had that before, you know? And I was contemplating, man, I'm not going to rush my career. Maybe this isn't the right move. But
was it the step up in competition?
No. So this is crazy. It's going to come off. Well, it's not crazy, but it comes off as really arrogant. Abdul was not a step up in competition for me. He was a step up as far as, power. And people that I fought, as far as, people that have the ability to knock you out.
Consequences.
So, yeah. There's consequences for small error. And, but I knew skill for skill, dude's not on my level. I knew Gerald Mearshart, however you say it, that dude to me, without being disrespectful, is I don't know how he's been in the UFC. The guy I first fought, he's not in the UFC anymore, but he had 8 knockouts. I've been doing this for 23 years. I started at 4.5 years old. I don't want people to think that I'm cocky or arrogant, but I am. I am cocky. I'm confident,
Don't you think you kind of have to be?
Yeah, you do
you're
have
a
to
fucking
be.
cage fighter.
It's your protection barrier.